What if I told you that the way you handle money right now is almost entirely determined by which level you're on, and most people have no idea which level they're actually at? Today, we're walking through every major income and budgeting tier, from having literally nothing to managing $100,000 a year, and I'm going to show you exactly what life looks like, what the biggest mistakes are, and what you need to do to climb to the next level. Stay with me, because no matter where you are right now, there's something in here that's going to change the way you see your finances forever. Let's start at the bottom. $0. This isn't a hypothetical for a lot of people. Whether you just lost your job, you're fresh out of a difficult situation, or you simply never got a real financial start, zero is a real place that real people live in. And the brutal truth is that survival mode has its own economy. When you have nothing, every decision is about today. Can I eat? Can I stay warm? Can I get to work tomorrow? There's no room for planning because planning feels like a luxury you can't afford. But here's what most people at zero get completely wrong. They assume their financial situation is a reflection of their worth as a person. It's not. It's a reflection of the resources and information available to you at that moment. The first move at zero is not saving money, it's stabilizing. That means finding consistent shelter, food access, and some form of income, even if it's temporary work, gig economy jobs, or community resources. You cannot build a financial life on a foundation that isn't stable. Full stop. Now let's talk about what I call the survival budget, roughly $1,000 to $12,000 a year. This is the zone where you're technically making money, but it evaporates almost immediately. People in this range are often working one or even two jobs and still coming up short. The biggest trap here is what I call the payday cycle. Money comes in, immediate bills go out, and you're back to zero by Tuesday. Sometimes people in this range fall into high-interest debt, thinking it's a bridge, but it ends up being a cage. Payday loans, credit cards with sky-high rates, buy now, pay later schemes. They all feel like relief, but they lock you in tighter. The single most important skill to develop at this level is tracking. I don't mean complicated spreadsheets. I mean knowing where every dollar went after it left your hands. Once you can see the pattern, you can start to interrupt it. Here's where things start to get interesting. The $12,000 to $30,000 range is what I call the fragile middle. You're technically above the poverty line. You might even feel like you're doing okay some months. But one unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, a missed shift, and you're right back at zero. This is the most psychologically exhausting place to be because you're close enough to stability that it feels within reach, but far enough away that it keeps slipping. People at this level often make one of two major mistakes. Either their lifestyle inflates immediately the moment they get a raise or a better job, or they're so afraid of losing what they have that they become paralyzed and never take the steps to grow. The right move here is building a buffer. Even $200 saved and never touched changes the psychological relationship you have with the money. It shifts you from reactive to slightly proactive, and that mental shift matters more than the actual dollar amount. Quick pause. Are you currently in the survival or stability phase? I want to know where the math stands for you right now. Drop the word survival or stability in the comments below. Now we're climbing. The 30 to 50,000 range is where budgeting stops being about survival and starts being about choices. At this level, most people can meet their basic needs consistently. The challenge now is that you're introduced to a whole new problem: decision fatigue around money. Should I pay off debt or invest? Should I get a better apartment or keep saving? Should I take that vacation or build the emergency fund first? These are real questions, and they don't have one-size-fits-all answers, but I'll give you the framework that works for most people. Handle high-interest debt first, always. Build your emergency fund to at least $1,000 before anything else, then 3 months of expenses over time. After that, contribute enough to your employer's retirement match if you have one. That's free money you're leaving on the table otherwise. Then start thinking about lifestyle. Not before. The $50,000 to $75,000 range is where money psychology gets truly fascinating. Statistically, people who reach this level often report that they don't feel much better off than they did before. And the reason is that spending tends to grow with income in almost perfect proportion. This is lifestyle creep, and it's sneaky. You upgrade the car, you move to a nicer place, you start eating out more. None of these things are wrong on their own, but collectively they can eat your entire raise without you even noticing. The people who thrive at this level are the ones who treat any income increase like it's still the old income. You live on what you were making before, and you direct the difference with intention. Retirement accounts, taxable investment accounts, debt elimination, or a specific savings goal. This is also the level where learning about taxes stops being optional. At $50,000 to $75,000, your tax decisions can either cost you thousands of dollars a year or save you thousands. That's not an exaggeration. Let's move into what a lot of people consider the dream zone, $75,000 to $100,000 a year. And I want to be very honest with you here because this is where things get complicated in a way nobody talks about. People assume that if they just made more money, everything would click into place. And for some things, yes, it absolutely does. You can build real wealth at this level. You can max out retirement accounts. You can invest regularly. You can have a real emergency fund. You can travel without financial panic. But there's a shadow side that very few financial creators acknowledge. At this income level, social pressure intensifies dramatically. Suddenly, you're expected to have certain things: a nicer home, newer car, the right vacations, the right clothes. And if you're surrounded by people making significantly more than you, the pull to spend at their level becomes almost overwhelming. The people who build real long-term wealth at this income level are not the ones who look the most successful. They're the ones who resist the performance of wealth and focus on the accumulation of it. Now, here's the thing that connects all of these levels that nobody ever talks about. And this is the part I really want you to hear. The skills that get you from $0 to $12,000 are completely different from the skills that get you from 12 to 50. And the skills that get you from 50 to 100 are completely different from those again. This is why people who get windfalls, inheritances, bonuses, lottery winnings, so often end up right back where they started. They got the money without ever developing the skills for that level. Real financial progress is a skills stack, and each level has its own curriculum. 0 to 12 is about stabilization. 12 to 30 is about pattern recognition and the savings buffer. 30 to 50 is about debt elimination and beginning to invest. 50 to 75 is about combating lifestyle creep and understanding taxes. 75 to 100 is about intentional allocation and resisting social pressure. Each rung of the ladder requires you to learn something new, not just earn something more. There's one more thing I want to address before we wrap up, and it's a mindset piece that applies to every single level equally. Most people treat budgeting like punishment, like it's something you do because you messed up or because you're not good enough with money. That framing makes you hate the process, and when you hate a process, you eventually quit doing it. The people who actually build wealth across every income level treat budgeting like navigation, not punishment. Navigation. You're not bad because you need a map. You need a map because you have somewhere you actually want to go. And a budget is just the map. It tells you where you are, where your money is going, and whether the direction you're headed matches the destination you said you wanted. So wherever you are right now, whether you're scraping together rent, getting your first real paycheck, or finally hitting six figures, the question isn't whether you deserve more. You do. The question is which level-specific lessons you still need to learn, and whether you're willing to learn them instead of just waiting for more money to solve problems that more money alone cannot fix. Because the research is clear, and the stories of people who've done this confirm it. Income without financial skill is temporary. But financial skill applied consistently at whatever level you're at will always compound into something more than you started with. That's the truth no one tells you when they're showing you highlight reels of wealthy lifestyles. Start where you are. Use what you have. And learn what this specific level is actually trying to teach you.